This video and series proves that Neanderthals were made by modern humans. What most people also are not aware of is that Neanderthal sites systematically appear clustered with modern human sites. This video and series also proves that modern humans were significantly present during the whole and hundreds of thousands of years long Neanderthal period, and also surprisingly advanced in navigating and crossing all oceans over 2 million years ago. In this over 2 million years period, these advanced and ocean-crossing modern humans carried along with them while navigating on ocean gyres and currents across all oceans the next archaic groups: Neanderthals, Homo erectus, Homo longi lineage members, Denisovans, and Archaics in general. Next, this video also proves that Neanderthals were totally dependent on modern humans. And that is also why they went extinct as soon as those modern humans did not have interest in the Neanderthals anymore. Quite often Neanderthals, but also other Archaics, which all were held captivated by modern humans, this for all their existence, were dumped in pits dug most probably by themselves. This so since they were the diggers, miners, and heavy-duty workforce. Often such radical dumpings are wrongly interpreted by a too-willing consensus and alternative historians as burials by Neanderthals themselves. One other enigmatic archaic, Homo naledi, which clearly is another product of hybridization, or also made or modified by modern humans, and not at all a product of evolution, is dumped, or rather dumps the death bodies of its own group to avoid stench and other disruptions. They had to dump the dead bodies from the members of their group or cohabitants, simply because of their obvious captivation by modern humans in the now famous Rising Star Cave system, located in South Africa's, by consensus, so-called cradle of humankind. Neanderthals carry the paternal or Y-DNA haplogroup R. Y-DNA haplogroup R is proven to be of American origin. This because it is younger than haplogroup Q, which is representative for Native Americans, and of American origin, this also by means of the whole genome haplotype tree. And Y-DNA haplogroup Q is older than Y-DNA haplogroup R. Totally different from African Y-DNA haplogroup A, American Y-DNA Q behaves as the ancestor of all humans. Neanderthals on their turn are older than the by consensus dogmatically assumed maternal Eve or mitochondrial Eve, which is mtDNAL, and also older than Y-DNA Adam, which is Y-DNA A. So in the Y-DNA haplogroup tree, Y-DNA haplogroup Q comes before haplogroup A in the timeline. In this way, Y-DNA haplogroup Q also comes before haplogroup R, which you can find at the end of the timeline. Both haplogroup Q and haplogroup R are proven to have been of American origin. This paternal Y-DNA haplogroup Q as well as the maternal haplogroups A, B, C and D are recognized as being Native American. Shown on your screen are the respective global frequency maps. So this makes that all that matters most was totally wrong at best, and totally manipulated at worst. And in the mtDNA haplogroup tree, A, B, C and D until K comes before haplogroup L. Again A, B, C and D are provingly of American origin. Obviously all this totally rewrites all human history and also proves and abundantly confirms out of the Americas. Knowing that the subject is delicate and potentially very disruptive for consensus and all that is related, and that includes even alternative historians, geneticist David Reich stops short of hinting at our out of the Americas, or at our American origin claim. Nevertheless, David Reich does mention the possibility that it were modern humans that somehow made the Neanderthals, and consequently are older than the Neanderthals themselves. In the case it had been modern humans that somehow made the Neanderthals, then that certainly was to use the Neanderthals for something that the modern humans preferred not to do themselves, or rather for something they were not strong enough to do themselves. After all, it is David Reich who is the first scientist who has the courage to point out that Neanderthals do carry modern human DNA for all of their existence. Harvard geneticist David Reich and his colleagues have proposed a complex, braided river model of human evolution that significantly reinterprets the origins of Neanderthals. Rather than being a strictly separate ancient Eurasian species that occasionally interbred with modern humans, Neanderthals are hypothesized to have descended from an early wave of Homo sapiens that expanded into Eurasia hundreds of thousands of years ago, later being genetically transformed by interbreeding with local archaic humans. Geneticist David Rye has clear reasons for leaving out that such an expansion would have departed from South America. So we cannot confirm that the shares this American origin part with us. The only thing we add is that the mentioned expansion departs from South America. What we know for sure is that he sees extreme genetical similarities between Native Americans and Europeans, as he himself has mathematically just proven it. All this new and human history rewriting information does not fit in this short video. A relevant video and playlist will be shown at the end of this video. Further, more relevant videos can be found in the description of this video.